So right now, the question a lot of immigrants are asking is that, official, if you have the EU long-term permit, can you work in another EU country? And even if you can work in another EU country, are you going to lose your Lungo Periodo or the EU long-term permit? Now, the answer is yes. You can work in another EU country with your Lungo Periodo, and you will not lose that Lungo Periodo. You will still have that documents, because having the EU long-term permit, it allows you to work in any of the EU countries, provided you get a job in that EU country. For example, if you got your EU long-term permit here in Italy and you got a job in France, because France is an EU country, you can go there and work without any problem. Now, I have the article and I'll be explaining to you how the process is. The process may differ from EU country to EU country. Maybe the way France will do, that is not what Germany will do when they want to issue the residence permit for you in order to work in that particular country. Now, for example, if you have the EU long-term permit and you find a job in another EU country, you will go there and then you will tell them that, look, I have gotten a job here and I have this EU long-term permit which was issued by the Italian government. Now, that particular EU country where you have gotten the job will issue a residence permit or a work permit for you in order for you to work in that country. And you will continue to have your EU long-term permit. You know, this EU long-term permit has a lot of advantages. If you're having the EU long-term permit, you can travel out of Italy exceeding 90 days. Whatever time you want to stay, they don't care about you. But make sure that you will not stay outside Italy or outside the EU for 12 consecutive months. That is from January to December. You didn't show in any of the EU countries. You have been absent from the EU 12 consecutive months. You risk to lose your EU long-term permit. And I don't think any reasonable human being will leave the EU for 12 consecutive months. At least you will go, you will come, you will go, and then you will come. Now, this is the article. Can you work in another EU country with a long-term residence permit issued in Italy? Every non-EU citizen in possession of a long-term residence permit can freely move around the European Union even for a period exceeding 90 days. However, if he or she intends to work in a state belonging to the European Union, he or she must first check what the internal rules are issued by the state to find out about the operating procedures for staying in another member country. It is advisable to contact the competent foreigners office, the consular authority, or visit the institutional website of the destination country. As a rule, the new state issues a work residence permit according to its own methods and procedures without withdrawing the previous permit, which therefore remains valid. So once they are issuing a work permit for you in that particular EU country, they will issue it for you without any problem, without withdrawing your EU long-term permit that you got from Italy. Now, with the issue of the new work-related residence permit, is the long-term permit issued in another member state withdrawn? No, the police headquarters does not withdraw the EU permit held and the foreign citizen with the issue of the new work-related residence permit, and the foreigner maintains the status of long-term resident in the member state of origin. This status can be revoked only in the event of absence from the territory of the European Union for a period of 12 consecutive months or 6 years from the national territory or of acquisition of the status of long-term resident in Italy. So as I said before, if you get a job in another EU country, they will issue that country's work permit for you without withdrawing your EU long-term permit documents you get here in Italy or any of the EU countries. I hope I have explained myself. If you don't still understand anything, let me know in the comment section below. And TapTapSend still remains the #1 mobile app you can use to wire Naira direct to Nigeria without any corner. Their rates are very, very higher. You can download TapTapSend on Google Play or App Store. Register in your first transfer. Just add my promo code official Nigeria in capital letters. Like this, they are still dashing you additional €5 bonus, £10, $10 depending on where you are. If you're in the UK, America, Canada, wherever you are in Europe, you can also use TapTapSend to wire money to loved ones in Africa. Until we meet again in the next video, please stay safe and stay blessed. Peace out.
Iji TapTapSend wee na-ezite ego bụ ibe na-ejikọ mmadụ na ibe ya. Chọọ izite ego welu TapTapSend, ọ dị mfe, nsogbu adịrị ya, ọ na-ejikọ ndị mmadụ, ọ nwere ibe dị ka ya. Ya ịrụzọkwala TapTapSend, isi obodo oyibo chọọ izite ego, o nwere ụzọ ka ya mma ama m.